And friends are mourning the death of a teen pageant contestant who did charity work in North Central Florida. Family members say 18-year-old Cadence Fredrickson died in a crash on Monday. She created Kata's Promise to provide teddy bears and blankets to abused children. In April of last year, TV20 had the chance to speak with Fredrickson about expanding the charity in our area. She was named Little Miss Northwest Florida in 2017 and used her platform to raise $25,000 for the Ronald McDonald House.
Be careful, y'all, when you're driving. Don't be in such a rush, right? How many times have you been driving, seeing someone like a maniac just gets in the zone, or someone like that, or maybe you're like that yourself at times, and you're not ashamed to admit it. You get in that zone where, oh, this individual cut me off, or I gotta get here, or there's people I've seen that I know that were ready to get into a car wreck, right? Just because they don't like the way someone else was driving. They felt that person cut them off or something. They were ready to cut the person back off and get into a crash to teach a lesson. Like, I don't know, and I know intelligent people, smart people who there's something about it when they're behind the wheel of a car, they act like a maniac, like tap in and comment, everyone out there, if you've done it yourself or someone, like I said, like, let's discuss it. It's just so sad. So many lives are lost involved in accidents, pedestrians, kids, adults, everywhere in between, just lives lost that don't have to be. It's a damn shame. And specifically when I lived in Florida, I saw so many car accidents. I'm not just trying to blame it on Florida. As you see, this death that we're speaking of happened in Florida as well. I kind of have a theory that it has to do with areas that maybe a lot of people from different areas migrate to and live, that it's like a clash of so many different driving styles. Maybe, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if you think there's any truth to that, or your thoughts, or where you live, if you see a lot of accidents. But I lived in Florida, and I almost lost someone to a car wreck. It was truly heartbreaking, and that's a part of obviously why I wanted to comment on this story with everyone, but not just on the accident aspect of it. Some of the good work that this young lady had done in her short life, only 18 years on this planet, and she is deceased no more, but she did a lot of really, really good work. We'll get back to that in just one moment. But the part of Florida that I lived in, I had a loved one come within inches of death. You know what I'm saying? Moments of death. As close, damn near, you can get to without losing your life. You know what I'm saying? To the point that initially, because there was another life lost in the same accident. And it was like, a situation where we didn't know if our loved one was going to make it. Then we knew that they were stable. But temporarily, hey, everything's all right for now, but we're not out of the woods yet. A lot of different procedures, hospitalized for months. It was a terrible thing. And where I lived in the particular area, they had an unfortunate, horrible streak of it had just the tail end of a year passing into a new year. There was a almost 2-month period where there was at least one life lost a day in this kind of small county. I would say kind of the sticks. There was at least one life lost in a car accident, fatality every day. It was bonkers. I think it was 45 days straight. It was just damn, man, this is crazy. This ain't right, and there's other things that come into play in a particular place that I lived in, unincorporated county land, not enough red lights, not enough police patrolling, making sure people aren't speeding. We're talking people going over 100 miles an hour, just crazy, I don't know, I forget the exact laws on it, but I feel after, is it 40 miles per hour over the limit is deemed an actual crime rather than a traffic infraction. And that's something that needs to be looked into more and cut down on, if you ask me. But also in the sticks too, a lot of times the roads aren't well lit up. It's just it's terrible, man. But getting back to what I was talking about with this girl, she was involved in the whole pageant world or whatever, is obviously, again, not the reason I'm bringing you this story. It's kind of I think, fucked up world. A lot of weirdos and ish like that, you know what I'm saying? But as far as this girl, she did a lot of good work, and one of the things that she did was she started this charity called she had this charity called Kata's Promise, and it's to bring kids in foster care and in the system blankets and teddy bears and stuff like that. And she spoke about it from her own personal, viewpoint, that when she was coming up, she was in the system. She said, when I was little, I was abused and neglected by my biological mother and stepfather. This was in a 2024 interview. She said, during those times, the only thing I had to call my own was a stuffed animal I received as a gift years beforehand. Now that I am in a safe home with a safe family, I learned I wasn't the only kid that went through that. Her charity gave out more than 12,000 teddy bears and blankets worldwide to children who endured abuse or trauma. And she also raised 25,000 for the Ronald McDonald House, and that's what I wanted to speak about. When you get in a situation like that where you have a family member hospitalized, right? When it's a very serious situation, they often, in the local area where you're at, they do whatever life-saving measures they can there. But if that particular hospital isn't really a trauma-equipped hospital, they have to be transported, and sometimes that can be a couple hours away. So when this happens, families already dealing with such horrific circumstances are like, where do I go? Where do I live? Because you want to be, and you're gonna be there for your loved one, whether you had to fucking walk. You're gonna get there, but when you get there, like, you're sleeping in the hospital, you're sleeping in your car, you do what you gotta do. And then that's where the Ronald McDonald House comes into play, man. That's like such a dope thing, that they put people up with family members in the hospital, and take that burden off of you. Obviously, at the end of the day, you want your family member to make it. That's what you're most concerned with. But they comfort you a little something, and it's a beautiful thing. It really is a cause that's worthwhile to donate to, man. Because so often we see these days, man, like a lot of charities and stuff like that ain't nothing but a scam. Or even if they are like a legit charity, when you find out what you donate and you see the percentages broken down where that money's going, you're like, damn, man, that's like, I don't want to donate to that bullish. The Ronald McDonald House really is a great cause, Like, say what you will about McDonald's, the corporation. That is a way that they really give back and have been giving back for a very long time. But I don't know, I just saw this story and wanted to speak about it everywhere out there with everyone, man. Like, don't be in such a rush. Drive safe. Think about everyone around you, Like, I ain't gonna lie, I've done it myself. Drove like an asshole. Like, we get caught up in the grind of the day, stresses, got to get to work. I'm late. What am I gonna do? And, it's like you're putting lives at risk, like, flat out. There's no two ways to look at it, man. And, with this situation here, it's just a reminder. So be safe. God bless. RIP to this young lady who, did a lot of good on this earth in the short time that she was here. God bless the dead.